All right, so
Yeah.
quick non-review. When we hit at any time, we can just throw this on to the start of Totoro, since it
Yeah.
was the replacement. It's Piece by Piece, which is the Lego biography of Pharrell Williams, and I was kind of expecting more of a narrative about it. When what it really is they sat him down and maybe it's like some of his family and friends down, and it was just a series of interviews that they kind of uh, made more interesting by doing Lego animations over it.
Mm.
The thing is that, if you have a biography of a musician you've never heard of or like only have a vague idea of, um, there is a skill to making that still captivating. I'll just say, for example, when we watched Elvis by Baz Luhrmann, uh, I didn't really know a lot about the fine details of Elvis's life besides famous, hip swinging, drafted, died on the pooper.
Yeah.
And was associated with Las Vegas somehow? Question mark.
Yeah, and Hawaii. Yeah.
Yep. See, I wouldn't even think of Hawaii first off until you reminded me about it, the one song. But
Yeah.
anyways, all I knew about Pharrell going into this was that he was the guy who did the song "Happy," which is a fine song.
Yeah. I know you. Oh, you like it. I don't like it.
I can also see where the song could be annoying because it is kind of very on the nose. But that's basically the extent of what I knew about him.
Yeah.
And I think if they just turned it into more of a narrative, it would have worked better. But it's just it's like an old VH1 behind the music interview, but instead of having like recreated scenes with actors, it was Legos.
Oh, yeah.
What I'd also say is that the Lego animation is not of the same quality as the Lego movies, which is kind of a high bar for what I imagine had a much smaller budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I would say is that if you actually know who Pharrell is going into it and find him interesting, I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's just not. It just wasn't able to convert me over to being a Pharrellistine or whatever the name for a Pharrell fan is.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you there. Yeah. I mean, it didn't interest me when you were telling me about it, but I was just kind of like, okay, well, we'll give it a watch. Just maybe it's because I thought maybe it would kind of be like what was that? Better Man, the movie about Robbie Williams, who that movie sounded like I mean, they made him turn him into a monkey.
Yeah, they just CGI'd him into a chimp man.
Yeah, and once you understand from like a narrative perspective why they did that, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, okay, people in America or outside of Europe, like they don't know who Robbie Williams is, and so you make a biopic about a guy nobody knows about, and you turn him into a CGI chimp, But
and the difference between those two movies is that I heard nothing but praise for Better Man, so it is on my eventual to watch list.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard anybody ever have anything to say about Piece by Piece.
Yeah.
Including movie review channels I follow.
I guess it was just not on anyone's radar, and probably because it wasn't really like a narrative story. It was just like you said, it was just like a behind the music kind of like documentary, just with Legos, which seems like a waste of time and money to do it that way.
Yeah, it's weird that I believe it got a theatrical release. It's just weird that, and again, like just from what I saw, Pharrell was kind of an odd dude, not like bad or anything, just
different,
a bit eccentric.
Yeah, which a lot of musicians are.
Yep. So we went through the in case of needing a review, break glass file, and ended up finding My Neighbor Totoro, which has been on both of our radars as a review topic for ages.
Yes.
It's just every time we would go by, it's like, how about My Neighbor Totoro? If we can't find anything better.
And then we'd often find something else.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a Studio Ghibli Hayao Miyazaki movie. It's we were kind of talking before the show. It's almost like a precursor to The Boy and the Heron, only a lot less complicated.
Right. And I feel like this movie is much more in the Miyazaki wheelhouse in terms of not exceeding his grasp.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely more kid friendly than some of his other movies too. It's so it's basically about this a family. It's a dad and his two daughters. The dad's name was what was the dad's name?
So the dad is Tatsuo, and he has his
Tatsuo.
daughters Satsuki and Mei.
May, yeah. Yeah, and we watched the English dub of it, and Tatsuo was voiced by Tim Daly, who most people will if you will recognize his voice. He's the voice of Superman and Clark Kent in the Superman the Animated Series.
Oh, that's why he immediately sounded so trustworthy.
Yes.
He was also a guy in Wings.
Wings, yeah. And the sisters, Satsuki and Mai, were voiced by the Fanning sisters, Dakota and Elle, respectively. We've seen Dakota Fanning in a couple of movies for the channel, Man on Fire and Equalizer 3. And yes, both of those were with Denzel Washington.
Yep. So I think this is our first Dakota Fanning movie without Denzel.
Yes. And also kind of rounding out the cast, you had Pat Carroll was the voice of the old lady. And I looked her up, and she was the voice of Ursula in from The Little Mermaid, which, two completely different characters there. And
yes, although they both had their issues.
yeah, they both had their issues. Yeah. And last but not least, you had the one and only, the legendary Frank Welker as the voice of Totoro and all of the other animals.
Oh, apparently, Catbus was voiced by somebody else, although his meowing screech sounded a lot like Welker.
Yeah.
But Welker just has a very distinctive voice and way he attacks animal sounds that always makes him just jump out at me.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Tatsuo and Sasuke and Mai, they move out to the country, to this little farmhouse, and they have to move out there because the mom is not in the hospital. She has an unspecified illness, not really sure what it is. So basically, as soon as they move in, they kind of start noticing strange things in the house. They see these kind of like spider-looking things, and the old lady who lives next door tells them that they're soot sprites. And
yeah, soot sprites is something like that. But
yeah.
they just they're like a little black puff ball that leaves a trail of dust in their wake, or if they touch them, their hands get all sooty.
Yeah, and she just tells them, well, if you're really nice, they'll leave, and but I hate to think what they would do if they weren't nice, but
this isn't that type of movie.
Okay, yeah.
And that's one of the things that's interesting about My Neighbor Totoro is just it is a very small movie, but that isn't a bad thing. It's just it is slice of life is the wrong term for it, but it is just basically exploring the family dynamics. You have the older sister Satsuki having to basically act like a mom for her little sister Mei, and you have I think Mei was 4 years old, 3 years old.
4, yeah.
4, and her having her very limited understanding of why mommy can't come hang out with them, and later on, why she can't come visit them when she was supposed to come for that weekend.
Yeah. And she also does the little thing where she repeats what everything her sister says.
Yeah, I want to say that Elle did an amazing job. I don't know how old she was at the time, but she sounded very believably like a toddler.
Yeah. So it looks like they recorded it in. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like 2005. So she would have been.
Huh. Let's see. It was released in 1993, but I know that a lot of Ghibli movies have ended up with multiple dubs over time.
Yeah, because okay, so Elle would have been. So she was born in 1988, so she would have been 7.
Let's see here. So there was what they called the Fox dub, which was used on home video from 93 to 2004.
Yeah, well, I think we watched the Disney dub.
Which is funny considering that it's on
HBO Max.
HBO Max at the moment. But
yeah.
All right, yeah, the old Fox dub is gone.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they were okay. So if they were older at the time, that's even more impressive that they managed to sound so believably young.
Yeah. But yeah, so then as the movie progresses, May is kind of wandering around, and she sees this big tree, and or no, she sees a little like rabbit creature kind of just
like
this
little small Totoro thing here.
Yeah, and immediately as soon as I was seeing that, I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for that thing to start saying, I'm late, I'm so very, very late.
See, I didn't even think of the Alice in Wonderland comparison, but you're dead right there.
Yeah, because then she follows him out to this tree, and then she climbs through the tree, and the branches leading to the tree, and then falls into the tree. And then from there, that's when she meets Totoro, who's just this giant cat, rabbit thing, yeah,
bear koala thing.
Yeah.
I've never looked into this, but I have this sneaking suspicion that the origin of this was Miyazaki doodling one day and drawing that outline and going, there's something to this.
Yes. Like, I can make a movie out of that.
Yep. And as far as spoilers go, I think we are going to want to talk a little bit about the end plot, just because there was some funny moments in there. But overall, I think that this is just a very calming movie. I don't know that I necessarily loved it while I was watching it, but I think that it's aged well as I've thought back on it.
Yeah.
I could see some kids being bored by it if they want more conflict, especially because it takes a while for Totoro himself to show up.
Yeah, he didn't show up till about 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. Also, Totoro is a largely silent character outside of bestial noises, which is why it took me a while to recognize Frank Welker as the dub voice.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of a very calming guy, or very, very chill guy.
Yeah.
Eagle-eyed South Park fans might notice that they basically used Totoro as they turned Cthulhu into Totoro in a classic set of South Park episodes with the coon.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
But and like, there's nothing overly scary here, so I think that as long as you're like, I would say keep an eye on your kids, because if they get bored and wander off, well, you're more entertained. Mayhem could occur. But
yeah,
I think a lot of kids would like this.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if my niece or nephew, when they were younger, they would probably get bored with it. But no, I would say probably like 7, 8 maybe.
Yeah. Miyazaki movies, okay, because Miyazaki movies aren't necessarily my favorite all the time, but this is like very much in the wheelhouse of what the Studio Ghibli is good at.
Yeah.
Fun fact: this was released as a double bill with another Studio Ghibli movie, Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah.
Which, boy, that has to be like the biggest 1-2 punch of, see, family is great and be there for your family. And watch out for your little sister, or else.
Or yeah. Oh man.
You might
I'm
ask,
curious.
oh, does that mean that Grave of the Fireflies is our next review? Ha, no.
No.
I'm never watching that movie because I don't want to be that sad.
Yeah. Same here. Oh.
All right, on to the spoiler thoughts. So the granny is kind of, while we were joking earlier that her character is very different from Ursula, she's almost the villain of the movie as much as it has one, because the overall theme of the movie is like very much just like family. It pays homage to traditional Japanese mythology and religion.
Yeah.
But like Granny is just always full of the worst advice.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with a little 4-year-old who's very sad that her mother isn't around and worried that her mother is sick. And she basically says, oh, your mother couldn't die and leave a little girl like as cute as you alone. Like that is an awful thing to say, because what if she does take a turn?
Yeah.
You got to hedge your bets slightly.
Yeah.
The climax of the movie, the third act conflict is the mom was supposed to come visit them, and May was so excited, and then the mom developed an extra cold. And what I thought was one of the funnier fake outs, because you're used to Disney movies where of course parents are going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a real feeling that of dread when they say, oh, your mom's taking a turn for the worse, your dad needs to get to the hospital. So there's like this whole thing where Satsuki has to drive to the neighbor's house to use their phone because it's out in the boonies.
Yeah.
And May, while she's sad about this, decides to go, and she knows roughly where the hospital is, so she's just going to start walking that direction.
Yeah, it's with an ear of corn.
Right, because they picked some local corn and veggies and stuff to feed their mom.
Yeah. Yeah, and so May gets lost, and then they're all everyone's out looking for her, and then they find a sandal out in the middle of the water
in a lake, or a pond, I should say.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is one of the funnier, darker thoughts I had, and we had the same thought independently. So you have all these men like with their poles trying to they have assumed that May has drowned, and they're fishing around in the pond with these long poles, like trying to just dredge her up, right?
Yeah.
And then Satsuki comes across him as she's continuing her search for the sister, and there's this tense moment. The old woman asks, "Is this your sister's shoe?" Satsuki looks at it for a moment and goes, "No." Yeah. And the thought we both had was, "Oh, thank God, some other little girl drowned."
Yeah.
Call off the search. We only care about May.
Yeah. It's like, well, whose sandal is it?
Like, sandals don't just spontaneously generate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So, and again, like surprisingly, no body count in this movie.
No, it's a happy ending. And the mom isn't really gravely ill. It's just
right. She just has she has a cold exacerbating her unspecified illness.
Yeah. But yeah, and there's some, of course, throughout the movie you do kind of have the the whimsical stuff with Totoro, like they're planting the acorns that they got from them, and then they're waiting for them to sprout, and then Totoro shows up and does a little dance around them, and then it grows into this giant tree, and then the tree disappears. Yeah.
And the most famous bit for Persona players is the cat bus, or Neko bus, if you prefer.
Yes. Yeah. They're just out there hanging out in the bus stop in the rain.
Which, seeing how popular this movie was, I suppose that it does make sense why the cat in Persona said, "Oh, for some reason, it's in the popular subconscious that a cat can become a bus."
Ah, oh, I remember that now. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people in Japan have seen this movie.
Yep. So yeah, again, I think that overall, I don't think we would recommend it for adults watching it for the first time because it's just kind of cute and the animation is great. And the soundtrack is also surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I think if I have one complaint about it, and this is like the nittiest of nitpicks, the sound quality for the voice recording is too good for the movie.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that.
Because basically the soundtrack sounds like it's the original. Who knows? For all I know, it was originally done in mono. Because anime of the 80s didn't always have the best audio fidelity.
Yeah.
So it's like the original audio quality, and then you have this amazing crisp voice acting. And just years of watching anime has taught me to expect certain sound quality with certain generations of art. And so I just kept having this uncanny valley with it.
Yeah, I noticed that with some certain other anime that they did that. Like when they redubbed Akira, it kind of had the same feel to it. Yeah, it was just like the audio track on the voices. Yeah, sounded too good for the rest of the movie. It needed to be a little rougher around the edges.
I wonder if they just lost the technology. Like, how do we add just the right amount of scuff?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, like again, before I interrupt myself, I don't think I'd recommend this for a lot of adults.
Yeah.
But if you have a child who doesn't need an explosion every 5 minutes in their cartoons, give it a go. It's on HBO Max.
Yep, indeed.